everyone, welcome to our podcast. So today, we're diving into one of the turning points in human history, which is the Copernican Revolution. But before that, let us all introduce ourselves. So, my name is JEALIZA BOYLES. I am 18 years old and I believe that we should stay curious in order to grow.
So I am Prince SALMASAN, 19 years old, and I believe that every setback is a set up for a comeback.
Yes, partner. So, ako din po si PHILLIP LEGASPI. I am 19 years old and I believe in a saying that he who suffers conquers.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Trisha and I'm Monilar, 18 years old, and I believe that if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail.
And hola, I am Miss RHONNA INSO. I'm 18 years old and my saying is, ask questions and you'll only be a fool for a while.
Okay, so now let's talk about how one man's idea changed how we see the universe. So,
Sakto kay
Legaspi?
Yes, partner, no. So, before ana, dapat makabalo ta kung unsay gituuhan din sa mga tao sa una. Ang mga tao sa una ning tuo sila nga ang Earth kuno mo'y tunga sa universe, which is ang mga butang nga nagpalibot adto nagtuyok sa Earth.
So, but then came Nicholas Copernicus, a quiet astronomer from Poland who said, wait a minute, what if ang sun mo'y center sa universe o dili ang Earth?
That one statement flips science, religion, and philosophy upside down.
So today we'll explore how that idea started, how people reacted back then, and what lessons we can learn from it today.
So, to understand Copernicus yun, una yun na itong dapat naata is insights, knowledge, or wisdom. So, kung unsa yun ilang believe sa una, unsa ilang faith sa mga butang-butang sa una. So, for more than 1,000 years, na Greek astronomer named Ptolemy, naka-create siya system called Ptolemaic system. Kung asa, mao ni ang standard model sa universe sa una.
So, in that model, or what we know as the geocentric model, the Earth was at the center and completely still, while the Sun, the other planets, the moons, and the stars are kanang orbiting around it in perfect circle.
So, it made sense to people back then because it looked like everything was moving around us. Plus, gisuportahan man siya sa Earth and it fit perfectly with the belief nga ang humans maoy center sa creation sa Ginoo.
Exactly, back then science and religion were deeply connected. Questioning the geocentric model wasn't just a scientific debate, it was a challenge to how people saw their place in the universe.
So basically when Earth was moved, people were like, maybe we aren't really that special, so they were kind of like scary about that idea since it's opposing, like nag-oppose sila ang mga gituuhan ana and so on. So for dili nila ma-accept dayon ang idea ba nga ang Earth is revolved around sa Sun, which is not the center of the universe.
Then, moto ni Suna si Nicholas Copernicus, who was born year 1473 in Poland. He was a mathematician and astronomer who studies the motion of the planet.
So, si Copernicus kuno, nakabantay siya sa system nga gigama ni Ptolemy. Nga daghan kuno siya, daghang pixels, daghang mga butang, daghang lusot, daghang dapat tarungon. Parehaan ng adding circles on the top of the circles, nga ginatawag kong epicycles to make the mathematics work.
So, Copernicus came up with a simpler idea. So, what if ang sun maoy center sa universe o ang Earth may nagtuyok niya?
So he published this theory in 1543 on book called, which means on the revolution of heavenly spheres.
Okay. So, kay Boto muna, before, yan ang i-publish before siya namatay since at that time, mahalok siya for backlash or kanang And yes, judgment sa mga tao before, like sa church o sa other scholars, since at that time, ang ilang bitong mga beliefs is based on the Bible and sa mga philosophy.
Yes, so, pero, even though his model still used circular orbits and epicycles, it was still revolutionary because it is said that Earth moves.
So, at first, not everyone believed him. So, plus, yun ako during that time ni Copernicus, I would not believe him nga sayang idea kay since ang church may nag-feed og idea sa mga tao. So, ning oppose man siya. And also, people said daghan nag-ingon nga if Earth is moving, why can't we feel it? Kung naglihok daw ang Earth, nga nang di man nato ma-feel.
So, the church also concerned because some Bible verse seem to say that Earth was still, so the idea was seen as a dangerous.
Then came other scientists. Those scientists were Johannes Kepler, Galileo Galilei, and Isaac Newton. They continued the Copernicus work, and that supported the idea that Earth is just like the other planets that revolve around the sun.
So, Kepler proved that planets move in elliptical motion or in orbit around the sun in an ellipsis, daily perfect circle. And also, the planetary speed are not uniform. So, mag-base siya sa iyang distance from the sun.
So, meanwhile, Galileo Galilei used a telescope and saw things that support heliocentrism. Pareha sa Jupiter, wherein yung moon kay nagtuyok niya dili ang Earth.
Yes, partner. So, Newton later explained why this happens through the law of universal gravitation.
All of them together turned Copernicus' idea into a foundation of modern science.
So, what made the Copernican revolution so important?
Yes, partner, no. So, it didn't just move Earth from the center. It moved human thought. People started to realize that science should be based on observation and evidence, not just tradition and authority.
It also showed that humans aren't the center of everything. Just one planet among many. So that's a humbling but also a beautiful thought.
Philosophically, it changed how people saw the relationship with God. In the universe, the heavens were no longer perfect and unchanging. They followed natural laws, just like Earth.
And that mindset, questioning, testing, observing, and that became the start of scientific revolution.
So now we will doing an activity. So a simple kaya rules mo. We have here a mug that contains some questions that are related sa atong topic nga Copernican revolution. So tulong na mo ari nga mo bunot tulo ka questions, and we will be sharing our answers and opinions sa questions. So everyone can give their ideas ay per good then. So kasi mo start. Sige ako. Okay. So, sige. Why do you think people were afraid of change during Copernicus's time? So do we still have that fear today? So why do you think people were afraid? Because during that time man, of course, influential man diya kayo ang church adto, ang religion niya, nag-influence niya. Ang idea man good sa geocentric kay naka-influence pa siya sa ilang society, ilang mga overall beliefs nila, ilang society adto nga time. So, hadlok pod nga sudden change because of another idea, another theory nga proposed, and then open ato nga time. Like close pa ilang kuan to minds adto kay of course usara dia ka idea or about sa universe ang gi-feed sa church adto nga time, and then having another ideas na pod kay hadlok pod halitan kag probably be scared po sa mga judgment sa people, society, and
Isa po na kay kuan kanang culture bitaw nga kabaw ta bitaw nga na mga butang nga posible mahitabo pero ang atong gipakadak-an bitaw kay ang culture bitaw nga tungod kay just like sa atong parents, di ba? Sa atong parents matel sila nga kani buhatan ni kay mao ni sakto pero di ay nay mga butang nga broad pagid nga ideas about ilang giingon kay wala sila nakaagi ba ingan na po lang abot aning butang ha.
Yeah, basta po comfortable na sila sa ilang
Oh, yes partner.
natuhan nga, mahalok na sila mo dive into others.
still have that fear today. Of course, di man na mga fear kahadlok sa din change of ras garon sa atong mahitabo sa atong lugar karon daghang mga nahitabo nga na kahadlok ta. Of course, one of those is change sa atong society, so di man dyan nawawa ng fear.
Samot na kay natay baruganan bitaw. Manat
Mm. Di dyan na mawaan ng kahadlok. It's like asa pa ka, asa pa nga kang time sa history.
If you had an idea that went against what everyone believed, would you have the courage to defend it? Even if people criticize you? Next question.
Kidan kanang yes oy kapan ko anang lagi magatag yung courage para ani kay what if katong butang nga dayang sakto din mo puta bitaw sa kamatuhuran if ang isa ka tawo dili mo tell if isa ka tawo dili mo tell about sa iyang ideas possible nga ma-miss to nila nga ideas. So even if people will criticize you, yes, kayo oy bisan ang uban matel silang ay isa man siya nga buang-buang na siya like
What modern discoveries do you think are as revolutionary as Copernican theory?
suda oy.
No, pero may one thing, pero I think dili siya as revolutionary as Copernican. So, kanang AI bitaw.
Nalusutan mo partner.
So yeah, then sometimes po kay mo po na yung mga cause yung laziness kay depend naman sa, di ba?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Copernican revolution didn't just move the earth around the sun, it also moved the humanity closer to truth and understanding.
It reminds us that progress often starts with someone brave enough to ask, what if we have been wrong?
And that's science. It isn't just about facts. It's also about courage, curiosity, and change.
From Copernicus to Galileo to Newton, the universe became not just something we look at, but something we understand.
Thank you for joining us here in our podcast. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep exploring, and remember, a revolution starts with just one idea.
One idea.
Wow!
Bye, TikTok!